Hi guys, so for today's video I wanted to film a really fun look with the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and I came up with this pinkish purpley blue look. It is a cut crease and I did add some glitter liner to the crease. So I'm going to keep the intro short and sweet, and let's get right into creating this fun glitter cut crease look. We're gonna start off with the eyes. I already did my eyebrows just to save some time. I do have 2 eyebrow tutorials on this channel, so if you want to see how I do my eyebrows, you can check those out. So starting off, we're going to go ahead and prime with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in Light 20. Just gonna be generous with this. I'll put a little bit on the lower lash line just to prime. I will add concealer and do all that after this look on the eyes, just because I will have fallout, and since I'm using bright colors, I want to go ahead and do the face afterwards. You often notice that I do the face usually before the eye look. However, this time I'm going to do it after. For the underbrow highlight, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Wet n Wild Brulee single eyeshadow. This is a super affordable under eyebrow option for fair to medium skin. I'm just gonna take that on a Coastal Scents brush. It's just an eyeshadow C brush. I purchased this so long ago. And bring this down a little bit in the transition area just to lay down a flat base for the colors that are coming afterward. Now going into the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, the star of the show. First color I'm going to use, which is this light pink right here in the corner. Take that with the Morphe M441 and use this in the transition area. We're just gonna take that and layer it until we are satisfied with the color in the transition area. So I'm just gonna continue to blend and grab some more and layer it. Once I have a good foundation to build the other colors on, I'm gonna move on to the next color and put it in the transition area as well, right over top that other color, not bringing it as high, just so that we have that gradient effect. More into the crease than the transition area, but also blending up slightly into the transition area. Okay, so the next color we're gonna go ahead and use is the purple in the top right corner, and we're gonna take our Morphe M433 brush. You can also use the Coastal Scents 250 and anything else that's like, I think it's the MAC 217. I'm gonna take that right into the crease. So I'm just gonna take that and again build it up, not bringing it up too high. I definitely want it to show a bit in the transition area, so you can just kind of watch for my placement. I'm gonna take it up a little bit into the transition area. If you have smaller eyes, you can keep it just in the crease. If you have bigger eyes, you can definitely take it up to the transition area. The more colors you use, the better gradient you're going to get. So that's why we went in with those 2 pinks before going in with the purples. It just works out better, and you'll see towards the end. Now that I feel the color is laid down, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that first brush, not putting any additional product. I'm just going to blend the edges of this darker color. I don't know if I ever told you, but on this eye here, I have more texture, so it doesn't look as blended as this eye, but I can assure you that I'm blending equally on both sides. So now I'm just adding a little bit more of that purple to the outer corner and bringing it in as we did before, just to add some of that pigmentation back. I'm gonna go in with the Sigma E25, which is the slightly smaller blending brush, and go in with this purple color right here. It's darker, so we're gonna keep it even tighter in the crease. And we're gonna go ahead and do the same method, just starting from the outer corner and bringing it in. We are gonna bring it all the way into the inner corner because I do want it to show after we cut our crease. Just don't want the colors to go too high. I want there to be a nice transition. Then I'm taking this Morphe M441 and blending that color once again. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the same concealer I used to begin with and cut that crease. I'm taking an Amazon brush. I got a brush set on Amazon, which I will link below, and it's a small concealer brush, but I think it works pretty well for the sake of cutting the crease. So just kind of have to follow along and watch how I do this. Okay, I'm messily putting some concealer at the edges just because I want the color to pick up pretty well on the edges. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back in with that darker purple on the outer corner with the same brush that I used for that darker purple, which was the smaller one. And see, because we laid down some more concealer, the pigmentation is gonna be better. And I'm gonna bring it in at an angle like so. So I want it to have a nice blend at an angle. We're gonna add another color so it's not gonna be so harsh. Do the same on the other eye. Once we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and take that first purple color that we used and blend the edge of that darker purple. So just be careful not to mess with the cut crease. But if you do have to go back in with the darker purple, go ahead. You want a pretty flawless blend. And again, it's easy because these colors blend into each other very well. For the inner corner, I'm gonna go ahead and take this purple. It's has a little bit of a sheen to it. And I'm going to take a small concealer brush. I like to use these. It's pretty dense for to pack on color, specifically metallic or shimmer colors. And I'm just gonna take some setting spray and spray the brush so we get maximum color payoff. And I'm gonna dip my brush into that purple color and go ahead and start placing it on the inner corner. And we'll go back in and blend out that edge. I'm gonna take this color in the palette, this like off-white color here, and I'm gonna use that as an inner corner highlight. I'm going to take a pencil brush. I'm gonna wet that a little bit so I can get a little bit of a metallic sheen. Now that I've cleaned up the edges, I'm gonna go ahead and take my iMagic Flash palette and use this blue color right here. I'm gonna use that on my waterline and then blend it down into my lash line. I'm just taking a small detail brush from Amazon and placing that right on the waterline. And again, we'll just blend this down as well. Now taking another pencil-like brush, I'm going to blend that out a little more, just the edge, just so that when we do lay down the shadows, since it's already blended out at the base, it'll be easy to blend out the shadows. I'm actually going to take this blue color here, right on top of that cream base. If you don't feel comfortable with doing that, that's okay. You can just use it on the lash line. I am comfortable with putting it on my waterline as well. Once I've laid that down, right over that, I'm gonna take that darker purple color we used in the outer corner crease and just go right over that. I kind of want to combine the two to make a bluish purple color. Now I'm gonna take an even fluffier brush, the e.l.f. crease brush, and I'm going to go in with that first purple and blend out that blue and purple. Now that the lower lash line is nice and blended out, I'm going to go ahead and apply my liner and mascara. Now that everything's on, I'm gonna go back in with this glitter liner. It's a purple glitter liner that I bought a 10-pack from Amazon. Again, I will have that linked below. And what we're gonna do is place this right on the cut of the crease. Okay, so for the rest of the face, we are going to go ahead and zoom right through it. I'm not gonna use any foundation. Go ahead with the ColourPop No Filter in light 20, being very careful of placement just because we don't want to cover up the lower lash line. We may just cover it up a bit, but it's so blended out, it won't matter. Just placing it in certain areas of the face. I trust the old $1.55 blender and blend that out. It's slightly wet. And again, just being very careful at the edges of this look. So I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Prime and Stay Finishing Powder in light medium, pretty much everywhere where I highlighted with the concealer. Again, being very careful underneath the eyes. But what this is gonna do is gonna actually help blend out that lower lash line even more by using this powder. So I'm just gonna use that carefully on the under eyes and then everywhere else I just highlighted. Being very generous with this. Can't forget that forehead. Next, I'm gonna go in with the NYX Matte Bronzer in Deep Tan and the Sonia Kashuk powder brush. My usual bronzing brush is still drying because I washed my brushes last night, so I'm gonna use this. This is like the less fluffy brush. I usually use the more fluffy brush from that same set, but this one will work just fine. I do put it all over my cheek because I will go in with an actual contour color. I gotta give myself a little more color. So to contour, I'm going to use the Morphe 9C palette, and I'm going to go in with this color right here and use that to contour my cheeks, my nose, and my chin. Now for blush, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Mellow Wine. I'm going to be pretty generous with blush as per usual. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead with that same powder that I used for my face to go ahead and bake a little bit. I usually use a sponge, but I don't have that with me. So I'm just gonna use this brush, just like a flat foundation brush, to kind of even out that contour and make it a little more sharp. I'm gonna let that powder sit a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and highlight with the Morphe M501 and the Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlighter. And I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my cheekbones and my nose. I've had this highlight for forever and it's still going strong. I've hit pan, but I don't even, it's been months since I purchased this. For the interest in saving time, I just didn't film me putting on my lipstick and I just brushed off the bake, and now I'm going to set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. So that's pretty much how I got this look. I will list the products down below, the ones that are still available. I will link them as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this look. I know I've got to get better at filming on a schedule. However, things have happened where I am not able to keep a schedule, but I hope to keep a schedule soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you do recreate this look or create something like that with the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, please tag me on social media accounts, which will be linked below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye guys.